Hey everyone, how's it going? Dr. Ironbat Prime 2.0, aka Noah, back again with this new video of mine, and this is finally going to be my thoughts, my review on Season 1 of the series Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on Disney+. Now, I will admit, better late than never on reviewing this series. I will admit, I would have done this a lot sooner, earlier, like back when it first aired and wrapped up its first season, but I've been very busy here and there for, well, with several behind the scenes stuff here and there, and yeah, my mom, it just didn't cross my mind at the moment, but also, well, I just didn't feel motivated yet because I want to focus on other videos, other projects. So, better late than never on finally talking about this series because it literally wrapped up like nearly a year ago. So, well, if you haven't seen the title card and if you haven't seen the beginning, that there will be spoilers. So, finally, I'm going to talk about this series. So, what do I think about the series Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? In my opinion, I thought the series was fun. I thought the series was enjoyable. I mean, it's probably up there being like probably one of the best Spider-Man cartoons out there. I mean, it has really good art style and animation, has a good story. I mean, this is a must-watch for any diehard fan of Spider-Man. I mean, if you love and enjoy Spider-Man just as much as anyone else, then you have to jump onto this show. I mean, there's a lot more to this series of like character development, story. I mean, it's kind of sorta MCU, but I mean, it is like from Marvel Studios. It does have like some MCU elements, but it's very much an adjacent universe, and there's a lot more to it. But I will admit, I think the casting is actually really good. I mean, you have Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, voiced by Hudson Thomas, who is also the same guy that voiced Peter slash Spidey in the Marvel Zombies series, which is actually really good. And same goes for the series Marvel What If. And I gotta say, he does a really good job, like just sounding like a 2.0 Tom Holland. And I think he nails it very well because, again, he does a good job at voice acting as Spidey. And I think his voice is just really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, every other Spider-Man actor out there is good, but to Hudson, he is amazing. Pun intended. Had to, want to. Sorry, not sorry. But you also have Coleman Domingo, who voiced Norman Osborn. You have Zeno Robinson, who voiced Harry Osborn. Grace Song, who voiced Nico Minora. Carrie Wagelin, who voiced Aunt May. And my boy Charlie Cox was, of course, Matt Murdock slash Daredevil himself. And the characters are actually really good and enjoyable. I mean, these are all characters that are like part of Spider-Man's, just storyline, art gallery, and just everything that equals Peter himself. The characters are just all around likable, and translation on what they're like, they're a bit more different than their comic book counterpart and or other adaptations. I mean, we have Nico Minora, aka one of the kids from The Runaway, who's actually Peter's best friend. But you also have Harry Osborn, who's not only another best friend of Peter, but is also the dude at the desk. We're also introduced to Lion Lincoln, who at first I thought was going to be a Flash Thompson kind of character, but turns out a nice guy with a good origin story that's a bit rough. But as us comic readers know, he would obviously become the villain Tombstone. And of course you have Norman Osborn, who actually recruits Peter Parker to not only work for Oscorp, but also to be stronger, better, and make his costumes, and does a lot more, instead of Tony Stark being the one mentoring him. And that's what I like about this version. I mean, again, it's a different universe. It's not the MCU universe. I mean, it has MCU elements, but this world is very much an adjacent universe. Translation on what this adjacent universe is and where and when it takes place. I mean, the events of Civil War happened, but Spider-Man was not a part of it, and he was not recruited by Tony Stark. Doctor Strange is still a rookie at being the Sorcerer Supreme, and he still, of course, has the Time Stone. And of course, I love how we got to see Daredevil in the series, and he's wearing a suit that very much looks like a combination between the comics and what he wore in the Daredevil Season 1 series. So the story is pretty much like all about Peter, not only in his prototype years of being Spider-Man, but also Like I said before, Norman Osborn is the one recruiting him and is pretty much the mentor. But keep in mind that this is Norman at a point in time before he obviously becomes the Green Goblin. And I will admit, I actually like this version of Norman, which is very different than, well, your standard evil Norman who just wants to kill Spider-Man. And, well, if you've seen the comics and if you know the character very well, you obviously know what I mean. And again, it's an adjacent universe, and that's what I like about it because, I mean, they're adding more to the story. They're pretty much taking like MCU and tying in some of the comic book things here and there and mixing it up a bit. And the animation is actually really spot on and really good. Some people were a bit 50-50 on the animation at first because it looked a bit cheap looking, but I will admit, I love how it looks like a combination between like the classic comics that Stan Lee and Steve Ditko did back in the 1960s, and kind of sort of mixed it with like some of the old-fashioned Spider-Man video games. That was kind of sort of the vibe and combination I was getting with the animation. I mean, I will admit, it's nothing like the Into the Spider-Verse movies, but I think it's good. I think it's really fun. I think it's really cool, and I almost wish that we could get other animated shows just like it because, again, it's 1960s artwork combined with computer animation, and that's really good, and I find that to be very interesting. Also, another thing I want to talk about, the villains in this series. I mean, sure, we still got like some of the classic villains that we all know from the comic books and that us diehard Spider-Man fans would know, but different variations, of course. I mean, we get to see Otto Octavius, but he's pretty much doesn't have his mechanical arms. He's pretty much the one creating all these villains here and there, or at making them stronger, faster. I also do like how we got to see a different version of Venom, who's pretty much very Clintarish and very alien-like, so we're pretty much going to get close to the symbiote series. And we also got to see a more human-like version of the Rhino. And of course, we also had the Scorpion in a couple episodes, which was just all around scary, cool, and he was a villain that means a lot of business. But yeah, there's a lot more to the villains, but again, I like how we got to see some classy ones, good ones, and they were just all around really cool, and I like the different variations of the Spider-Man villains that we had throughout this series. So in the end, I will admit, still like the show, still enjoy it, and I still think it's good, but there was a lot of back and forth on what the show, on what it would have been. Translation, I mean, it was supposed to be connected to the MCU, it was supposed to be like Tom Holland's like prototype years of him being Spider-Man. I still would love to see like how Peter, well, started off like on getting bit by the radioactive spider and just everything he did. But it would have been like the definition of like when Peter's going up against street level characters and just bank robbers. Like, in other words, it would have been like before he met Tony Stark and the events of Civil War happened. Hey, but again, they had to work around it. Sony and Marvel had to work some things, but that's just what it was like. I mean, that's just what they went for. I mean, I could definitely see that happening as like a Marvel special presentation, which would pretty much be the definition of like a mini movie dumped on Disney Plus and would be like an hour long. But hey, I mean, again, we still got this, and I like how very different it is from other Spider-Man cartoons. So, I mean, I will admit and say, do I think it's the best Spider-Man cartoon in my opinion? I'd say third favorite. Number 2 is the classic 90s Spider-Man cartoon that most of us diehards grew up watching. But also, my number 1 goes to the Spectacular Spider-Man. That is just all around my jam and just what I mostly grew up watching. But hey, that's just my opinion. And again, I think that this show is definitely up there being like one of the top 3 best Spider-Man cartoons out there. Heck, I'd probably say that this is like one of the best superhero shows of this year. And 2026 is about to begin, so yeah, I just had to admit and say it, that this show was all around really good, enjoyable, and I'm excited for season 2. I mean, I hope we get to see more of like other characters interacting with Peter. We're probably gonna get like a full-on like symbiote slash Venom fight. There's also gonna be, well, some other characters added into the story as well, and of course, Gwen Stacy slash Spider-Man will be in the series. Like I said in the beginning, this series, it's overall fun, enjoyable. I will admit, better late than never on reviewing the series, but again, I just didn't have the motivation. I was been too busy with other things in my life and focusing on other projects, other things. but better late than never. So I'm glad I finally got to review the series, and I'm really looking forward to season 2, of course. And that about wraps up my thoughts, review, and opinion. And I will admit, this will be the last video of 2025. Really looking forward to videos and everything that I'm going to be doing in 2026. I will admit, I have had some struggles. I've had some challenges here and there throughout 2025, but still fun, still enjoyable. I'm glad I had some enjoyable moments here and there. I don't know what 2026 will be like for me, but hope it's fun, hope it's good, hope you all have a safe and amazing holiday, of course. So I will see you all in 2026, of course. So just wrapping up this video, don't forget to like the video by hitting the thumbs up right there, along with hitting subscribe if you have not subscribed to my channel already. And don't forget to also comment below. I'm always reading the comments, and well, hit that bell so that way you guys are notified for my next video. That would be very supportive. But also, don't forget to follow me on all my social media. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitter. All my social media names are just right here. I just might follow you guys right back. But till next time, this is Dr. Ironbat Prime 2.0 out and about, and I'll catch you webheads on the flip side. And well, I will see you guys in well, my next video. So please stay tuned.